Well, Elijah Baez doing his job on the mound. Now that St. Bonaventure offense needs to crack the code against Mike Webb, who has shut down those Bonnie's bats in the last 2 innings. Back on the mound here to open up the bottom of the 4th against Brendan Stillman.
Yeah, even with that pitch count a little high for Webb, he's pitched really well ever since he gave up the 3 hits in the first inning. Let's see if he can continue to keep this 2-1 lead here in the 4th.
Stillman singled back in the first inning. Was left stranded at third base. And he goes opposite field. But right there is McCall for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, solid piece of hitting right there going the opposite field. But good catch there. And there's one down as Webb makes quick work of Stillman. Again, trying to limit that pitch count.
And you like to see, even though Stillman's been on a bit of a rise past couple weeks, overall this season the numbers are down. You like to see him going opposite field, a usually dead pole hitter.
Yeah, that's always a sign of a good hitter going the opposite field, especially in a situation like that.
Pierce Hendershot drove in the only run of the game for St. Bonaventure with a screaming double down the left field line in that first inning. He'll bat here, though, with nobody on and already 1 out in the inning. Fastball misses inside. Count pushes to 2-1. Since that opening frame, Rhode Island starting pitcher Mike Webb has only allowed 1 hit on a little blooper to Jackson DeJean. Aside from that, he has been locked in.
Yeah, he's really settled in very nicely, especially in this early inning. And you see his command has been spectacular ever since that first inning. He hasn't allowed to walk so far today. He's been really pounding that strike zone.
Hendershot up the middle. Second hit of the day for Pierce Hendershot.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there on a 3-2 count. Going right back up the middle for Bonaventure's first hit since that second inning.
Hendershot came into this game third on the team in batting average, doing nothing to hurt that mark this afternoon. He's now hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games and hitting well over 320 in that span.
Yeah, and both at-bats today have been very good. Remember in that first inning with that double, he turned on a low and in curveball, and this time on a 3-2 count, just going right back up the middle for 2 great hits so far today.
I know we talked about it in that St. Joseph's game, the unorthodox splits that Hendershot has against lefties and righties. He's 4 for 29 this year against left-handers, now 12 for 34 against righties.
Yeah, it's a little uncharacteristic, but you know, in college you see a lot more right-handed pitchers. So maybe for Pierce Hendershot, it's just a little bit more used to seeing the right-handed arm.
Brandon Myers will look to build on the 1-out single from Hendershot. He faces a 1-1 count here against Webb. Struck out his first at bat. And he rolls over the 1-1. Let's see if the Rams can spin it. And they can't get Myers at first. Vargas was pulled off the bag.
So you see the throw onto first was a little weak. Vargas, it looked like he was pulled off a little bit too. You see the angle right there for the umpire might have not been the best, but nonetheless, Myers gets on the first.
And I was surprised there, Tom. The second baseman, Josh Brodeur, did not get a lot on that throw.
It didn't seem that way, and that's kind of why Vargas was really pulled off the bag. It wasn't a strong throw, wasn't a great throw, wasn't an accurate throw. And that's why Myers was able to get onto first instead of an inning-ending double play.
A good throw over there to first, and Rams are likely out of the inning. He had Myers by a couple steps.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way.
But credit to Myers for busting it down the line, and he will keep this bottom half of the 4th alive for St. Bonaventure. Ben Berger bats now. Myers on the move. Got him at second. What a throw by Sonny Juliana. And that will end the Bonaventure threat here in the bottom of the fourth. Juliana backing up his defense with a dart to second base. We head to the top half of the fifth. When we come back, you're watching Atlantic 10 College Baseball on ESPN+. Larry Sudbrook rolling with Elijah Baez after a 24-pitch fourth inning. He's back out there for inning number 5. You wonder how long that leash is for Baez, Tom, after a pretty extensive fourth inning.
I think we're going to be able to tell early in this inning as the top of the lineup comes up for the Rams. If he struggles early, maybe the leash is pulled a little bit quickly. But if not, if he could get through this inning, then he might be able to get through 6 with his pitch count not ridiculously high at 69.
White showing bunt on that first pitch from Baez, who got the fastball over. Curveball misses low. White 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out. Had a hit in yesterday's game, so trying to work his way into the hit column here, but falls behind 1 and 2.
Yeah, you see Baez. Again, I know you alluded to this last inning, but getting ahead in the count early, especially to that first batter, right, Tommy? That the first 2 innings he walked the first batter and maybe didn't have so much success afterwards, but now to this first batter attacking and getting ahead with a 1-2 count.
And a dangerous batter in White, who had a stolen base in that first inning. Here he's caught looking on a beautiful curveball from Elijah Baez.
That was a fantastic curveball right there to get his 4th strikeout of the day. As you see it bending right in, and you cannot draw it up any better than Elijah Baez just did right there.
That is the first backwards K of the day for Baez, and he starts off the next batter with a strike. Josh Brodeur watches the first pitch, fastball over the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, definitely an encouraging sign for Coach Sudbrook. Like we just talked about, Elijah Baez, how deep he was going to go into this game was going to depend on the first few batters this inning.
You see slips on the mound there. Both he and Webb have taken a couple spills on the mound today. You wonder if it's a little slick after all the rain that fell yesterday.
Yeah, I was just about to say both starting pitchers have gone down so far today. You normally don't see that.
Baez falling behind here to Brodeur, 3-1 the count. That one yanked foul. Imagine Coach Sudbrook needed Baez to get as many innings as he could today with the stress that was put on the bullpen yesterday, with the doubleheader today. Again, Kyle Karinji likely not available after going over 70 pitches. And Baez on 3-2 plunks Brodeur. That will put him on with 1 out.
Yeah, tough pitch right there. Elected to go with the fastball. Normally with Baez, you see him go breaking ball on 3-2. But this time went fastball, tried to run it in, but instead it hits the back foot of Brodeur to give Rhode Island a base runner here in the 5th.
3rd hit batter of the year for Baez. And now Sonny Juliana, who got the Rams out of the bottom half of the inning after gunning down Brandon Myers on his stolen base attempt. We'll try to add to this lead now for the Rams. Juliana came into this game with a .327 batting average. 0 for 2 today.
Yeah, as we've talked about it so far today, Rhode Island really patient at the plate, especially these first few batters for Rhode Island, as you see the catcher getting ahead in the count here.
And another curveball misses. It's interesting to watch Baez. Man, when he is locked in, he is just dealing strike after strike, but when he gets out of rhythm, that funk usually lasts a couple batters.
Yeah, a little inconsistency is definitely a major thing for Elijah Baez. as again, we look at the last batter as his curveball was getting right over the plate. Now a little lost control.
Pumps in the fastball to push the count to 2-1. Some speed over there at first in Josh Brodeur, 7 of 7 on his stolen base attempts this year. And Juliana pulls the 2-1 foul. Count will even up now.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Brodeur 7 for 7, and White is 100% on his stolen base attempts too. And Rhode Island, they like to run, and they're very, very good at it.
And that certainly has to take away from a little bit of the focus of Baez out there on the mound. He's got to worry about that speed over there at first. Again, turns to the curveball. Juliana spoils it.
Yeah, the last 3 pitches, very good. Fastball, and then another good curveball right there. So you see, even with the small sample size of this lone at-bat, first 2 pitches, lost a little control, but he's able to regain it, and now he's back in the count at 2-2.
Another check on Brodeur over at first. That pitch count climbing for Elijah Baez. Now up to 83 pitches. See if he can make it through 5 innings of work. And back-to-back hit batters. Elijah Baez plunked Josh Brodeur. Now he loses control of the curveball and hits Juliana.
Yeah, Tommy, this one was on the curveball. Last one was on the fastball. As you see, really, both at-bats, he was able to bounce back and get back into the count. But then on the last pitch, just loses it and hits back-to-back batters.
Are you surprised there's no action over there in the bullpen after back-to-back hit batters?
Yes and no. Yes, because Baez struggled a little bit last inning, and now here with the back-to-back hit by pitches. But no, because we've seen how long Sudbrook does like to go with Elijah Baez, and he has a lot of trust in number 1 on the mound right now. So yes and no. It kind of would a little bit depend, but maybe we see a little bit of action after the past 2 batters getting hit by pitches.
Danger time now for Baez. 2 men on with just 1 out in the inning, and big Xavier Vargas up to the plate again. He had a 3-run homer in yesterday's game. Watches the curveball miss inside. Vargas, the conference's reigning player of the week, has just been mashing baseballs lately. Currently riding a 5-game hitting streak. That might be in jeopardy, though, if he can't come up with a hit here. And he got a good piece of that one. He likes it. Deep to right center field. Back-to-back games. 3-run homers for Xavier Vargas. Bring him around, big fella.
Vargas crushed that one, Tommy. Like you said yesterday, had a big 3-run homer. This one does it again as he turns on this one and sends that ball deep over the right center field fence. And Rhode Island now at the big cushion with a 5-1 lead.
Part of Baez's success today, Tom, has been keeping those Rhode Island hitters, even though his controls eluded him at times, keeping those Rhode Island hitters off balance. Vargas was sitting fastball, and when he got it, he did not miss it.
And again, Tommy, when a bat is hot, it is hot, and you'll know about it. And Vargas, again, back-to-back days with a homer, and he is swinging a hot bat for the Rhode Island Rams.
Baez nearly hits Mark Coley on the 0-1. Gets a fastball over, grounded to Putney. Retires Coley for the 2nd out of the inning. So Vargas, I mentioned that 5-game hitting streak. Make it 6 games now. Over that span, he's hitting right around 440 with 5 home runs and 17 RBI.
Yeah, that is insane. 17 RBIs. He's producing runs all over the place for Rhode Island. Yesterday he had 4. Today with 3 RBIs so far. And again, Tommy, I can't stop saying it. When you have a hot bat, he's producing.
Baseball's a lot of fun when you're hitting like Xavier Vargas is right now. As Baez goes down again.
Yeah, you wonder if that mound is maybe a little wet, or, again, that's the third time overall today that a pitcher has slipped, and the second time Baez has in this inning.
You see the dark spot towards the front of the mound where the plant foot is. Wonder if that's starting to get beat up and a little slick. Baez with Bonnie's now trailing 5-1. Just trying to get some length out of this start. Save the bullpen for the last 2 games of the series. Of course, Bonaventure not out of this game by any means. They do trail this one, though, now 5-1. Back-to-back nice curveballs from Baez.
Yeah, again, classic Elijah Baez. When he's trying to regain that control, he goes to that curveball, and now he's ahead in the count 1-2.
Baez looking in for the sign, shaking off DeJean. Finally find a pitch he likes, the 1-2 to Fortin. Another high chopper. Williams will give this one to Baez, and that will end the inning. But not before the Rams strike for 3 more runs, and it came on one swing from Xavier Vargas. They now lead this one 5-1. You're watching Atlantic 10 College Baseball on ESPN+.